says Bobbins, drop that tambourine.
All right, Dad, let's kick a good beat.
Meat pie sausage roll, come on Oldham, gives a go. Meat pie sausage roll, come on Oldham, gives a go. Ooh, we got a corner. Ooh, we got a corner.
Hello and welcome back to Pork Pie Sausage Roll. Come on Oldham, give us a goal, and it's episode 29. We are unexpectedly back due to Football Manager 2020's release date being announced as November 19th. I think a lot of us thought we might be playing beta very soon and it was going to be 1st of November release or something along those lines, but it wasn't. So I'm still playing the Oldham game and we're not doing too badly. So I thought I'd bring the show back because it's a lot of fun. Okay, we're going to start off with the last time you saw us, because I did record a video that went awry in the meantime. We won the FA Cup, and we finished wherever we finished. I'm going to say bottom half of the table, but we won the FA Cup final, which was absolutely fantastic. And then at the start of this season, we won the Community Shield against Manchester United, which was fantastic. Though it has to be said, our August was pretty terrible other than that. Coming into September, I did change things. I've adopted a new tactical system, which I will get into in a little while. But as you can see, September was great, October's been great, and so far in November it's been great. We've had the 3 losses, all of them in the Premier Division, but so far we are storming ahead in the Cup. I'll go into the Euro Cup in a minute because obviously today's game is SC Heerenveen in the Euro Cup Group C, and to be honest with you, if we win it, I think we are through to the next round. We've won our group, but nevertheless we've still got other teams to play after Heerenveen. CSKA Moscow again, and where are we? RB Leipzig. However, the next match is SC Heerenveen. The other cup news, of course, Carabao Cup. We won in the third round on penalties against Leicester. It wasn't great. And then we won against Man United on penalties in the fourth round. It was a good game, actually, in terms of how Oldham played. I was quite happy. We still have striker issues, as you might imagine, but it is always nice to get one over on Manchester United, even if it did happen to be by penalties. So that's twice we've beaten Man United on penalties this season, basically. Once in the Community Shield, and then once again in the Cup. We haven't actually played them in the league yet. I imagine that's where they're going to get their revenge, but other than that, it's not been too bad. If we have a quick look at the league, we're in 10th, which is fairly healthy. 4 losses, which is Burnley, Watford, Liverpool and Southampton. 3 draws, Middlesbrough, Leicester and West Ham, and 5 wins, which is Wolves, Reading, Bournemouth, West Brom and Newcastle. So we haven't really played any of the huge teams in the league yet, other than Liverpool, who we lost to. So coming up, I believe, fairly soon is Man City. Sure enough, it is it'll be our next game after the Heerenveen game. So going into the Euro Cup, if I can now custom. I don't know how I do it. Never mind. If we have a look at our group, Group C, Oldham atop. We've played 3, we've won 3, and we've managed to score 11 goals and only concede 2. It's been really, really cool. So we're storming ahead. RB Leipzig are right behind us. They've won 2 and lost 1, obviously, against us. So we've beaten everybody in our group once. So we're now into the second round of that. So next game is Heerenveen, then Moscow, and I think Leipzig's the last one. But like I say, I'm pretty sure that if we win this one against Heerenveen, we will be going through. So that's really quite exciting because honestly, it's the first time Oldham have been in Europe since they had a pre-season tour there. So this is really, really good stuff. I wanted to also talk about the transfers that we brought in at the start of the season. I'm just going to check last season, make sure you knew about everything. Yeah, you remember Lookman and Durham. Lookman and Durham were absolute bargain basement wins there. Dean Henderson's been fabulous, as you know. Liam Brooke, who we brought in as a young player from Leeds, he's having a storm in season 2 at only 20. He's actually holding on to that right back spot whilst developing nicely. But moving on into this season, again, there was no real surprises of people going out there, apart from Elias Secchi going to Newcastle for $2 million. But he is now at Burnley, is Secchi. He didn't stay at Newcastle. They did make a profit on him, though, and it's still early in his Burnley career. So, as upset as I was for letting him go so easily, I'm also not that disappointed because, he's not really lived up to much since he's gone. So yeah, this season, most expensive player is Rob Holding, who we brought in from Burnley. He's a centre defender. I've been playing him as a ball-playing defender on cover, which I don't normally bother with a cover defender, but again, this tactical change that I've made, it's been working better since I've been playing in that, and plus, he's been doing all right. I mean, his 18 games so far this season, whoops, let's go down. Can I? Or am I already down? Oh, I see, it's one of those. Yeah, 18 games this season, 2 goals, 7.11 average rate, and he's done great. Very, very happy with him. He's a great signing. Solid defender. He'll be with us for another 4 to 6 years, I would guess. So yeah, but he was expensive in terms of what we spent. We then brought in Remy Moreau from Olympique Lyonnais, I believe you should call it, or whatever, Lyon. Anyway, Lyonnais, Olympique Lyonnais. Anyway, so that I don't offend anybody, I won't keep saying it. He has not lived up to what I'd hoped. He did score recently, but yeah, 8 appearances, 2 goals. Has not been fantastic. I mean, in terms of his overall for the club, it's 9 starts with 3 goals and 2 assists. It's not what I was hoping for from him. It might take him a season to settle in, but bearing in mind that Janus Van Looy is not having a good time either, it's not fantastic. We brought in Alfred Ndiaye. He was technically brought in for a backup player. I needed a bit of depth in that area of the pitch, in that area of the squad, really. And he's been great. He hasn't played a massive number of games. He's part of the rotation, but that was the point. It was to give us some depth for some quality players and hopefully some people who'd got a little bit of European experience. And sure enough, he's not down bad for us. He's made 1 sub-appearance in the Euro Cup with a 7.0 average rating, but there's a strong chance he's going to be starting. After that is Dimitar Evtimov. He's just on loan. He's just a backup goalkeeper. And the one game he played, he managed to concede 3 goals, but still got a rating of 7. So what does that tell you? He's not a bad little keeper, but like I say, he's only here for backup. He's only here on loan. And unfortunately, he hasn't been called up for Bulgaria because, of course, he's not getting any matches for us. Sorry, mate, but that's the way it goes. And, of course, Tony Vilhena. He's Dutch. He's came in another central midfielder / attacking midfielder is part of where he plays. Again, more for depth, more for, European experience. As you can see, plenty of international caps and all the rest of it. He's valued at 25 million, but like I say, we didn't pay much for him. That's because he's on loan. Okay, I'm a stupid idiot. That was what I did. I brought these guys on loan for backup because I didn't want to buy them. And yeah, that's all the signings we've done this season. And to be doing as well as we are is quite impressive. In terms of the people that have gone out, Marcus Brown's gone. I mean, he wasn't in the squad. Do you know what I mean? He didn't really, once we got into the Premiership, he didn't really, in fact, we bought him when we got into the Premiership. He didn't perform well enough to keep his place, which is fair enough. Scott went to Partick Thistle. He was just a failed development player. Loic Badiashile, as expected, went off to Alaves. He's been doing all right since he's gone, but of course Dean Henderson was keeping him out, so he wanted to go, and that's fair enough. Loic Badiashile was a decent keeper, I'll say that. Other than that, it's been people out on loan. This is a development lot, of course. Ronan Curtis is not, but again, another player that we picked up when we were in the Championship, who just really has not cut the mustard in the Premiership, which is why he's been out on loan for the last 2 seasons. Tried to sell him. Nobody seems to want him, but he's doing all right for Peterborough, I guess, so good for him. Ben Morris is a development player. Peter Andrews is a development player. Reece Devine is a development player. Adam Jackson is a failed... Oh, no, he's not. He was the backup defender I bought in my first season in the Premiership, who never really got a game because we didn't sign him. I think we either signed him just outside the... There was something that happened anyway, and he was in... That was it. He was a free transfer, Let's check the history. Yeah, he was a free transfer, and he didn't get registered until the next window, or I couldn't do for whatever reason. And so he didn't get a lot of games, and then he just wasn't good enough to get in the squad, so he is out on loan for now. Again, I don't know how much longer he's got left. In fact, he will be gone at the end of this season, bless him. So, but at least he's getting some football. That's good for him. Chris Cannon, of course, another youth player out on loan. So yeah, there is an upcoming transfer, however, that we've just confirmed, which again leads into... two that are in. Liam Silverstein, again, he was a right back, looking for a bit of depth in that position. Youth player with some potential, but honestly, I'm not sure if I'm going to cancel this deal or not, because quite honestly, I don't think he's up to scratch. I'm not sure what happened in my decision to sign him. But anyway, Daniel Salvi, coming in from River. He has been granted a work permit. I spent a lot of time avoiding bidding for certain players because my scouts are telling me that they wouldn't get a work permit, and yet since I've tried bidding for players that I'm told won't get a work permit, every single one of them has. So I did it again with Daniel Salvi. He's coming in from River. He's an attacking midfielder, advanced playmaker, and he looks a bit tasty. He's a bargain at 3.4 million, and especially when you consider the spot he's going to be, well, hopefully claiming as his number one place, is currently filled with a youth player. Because I hadn't been building the squad in such a way that we were using attacking midfielders, so I moved them on. As you know, we did a little bit in League 2 and a little bit in League 1, but since being in the Premiership, I've been favouring a more sort of slightly defensive formation, which I've since taken to the next level, which has worked well, but we had struggled for goals and opportunities up front, so I've been playing around, and basically this is what we've come up with. There we go. It's the 4-2-3-1, but with the defensive midfielders. Obviously, it's my own version of it. But as you can see, Shashua, who is product of our youth development, he arrived in when we were still in League 1. He's done all right. I mean, it doesn't look good there, but it looks better down here as overall for the club. 7 games. Oh, sorry, that's over the 2 seasons, isn't it? He's not done bad. And it's only 1 assist out of 7 games, but as you can see, he's on the up. He is only a young player. He's not valued at much, and he's not really good enough to play in the Premiership, but because he's kind of our only choice in that spot, he's been playing. And like I say, he's done all right. Nothing particularly stellar, nothing particularly standout, which is why we needed somebody stronger in there, but he has certainly, contributed well enough, I would say. One of the things that we do with this formation, certainly depending on what games I'm playing, is whether it's to protect a lead or whether or not we're getting hammered, I will actually drop the attacking midfielder back to midfield and, either have him as an advanced playmaker or whatever else. Generally, it's not Shashua. We actually have enough depth in midfield and defensive midfield that there are a number of options there. And it works quite well. It doesn't seem to hurt the chances we make up front. On the contrary, in some cases, it actually helps when I've done this during a match. But nevertheless, the starting sort of formation is that. And it's been working out all right for us. So just to have a quick look at the team, obviously Henderson, Jan Valery, he's been with us a little while now. Since the Championship. And, in fact, it was just the tail end of the Championship. So he's with us really from our first season in the Prem. And he's been all right. Doesn't set the world on fire necessarily. But he has been all right. He has been reliable. Though it has to be said, he's been fighting for his spot. And he has been fighting with, where is he? Liam Brook. And I mentioned him earlier. He's another youth player. We did bring him in, though, for development from Leeds for 3.9 million last season. He managed 8 games and managed an over 7 rating. He's had a few more games this season and kind of held on to his spot. But, very happy with him as a signing, I have to say. Marlamby, as you know, has been utterly fantastic. He is our top scorer and our top number of assists. After 15 games, and he's just having a storming season, so I'm very, very happy with him. People have got their eye on him now. Burnley and Watford. But if you look, Tutino's in, and Tutino's actually made quite a few starts. He's on a decline, bless him, and I think I need to have a word with him about that. But he stepped up. The reason being is that, unfortunately, Lookman's been injured. He got injured, I think, in the last Euro match. And he's out for 3 months, but he's not had a great start to the season, to be honest with you. I mean, less than 7.0 average rate and only 3 goals and 1 assist. You know, he was a bit, I don't know. I felt like he was a little bit better than that last season. As you know, we got him on a bargain and he wasn't here for the full season. But, yeah, he's not quite firing on all cylinders. We'll see how he is when he comes back. But like I say, Tutino, bless him. Again, he's pretty much a backup player. I had intended to get rid of him at the end of his contract. But to be honest, I think I'm just going to keep hold of him because he can step in and do a job. And the boy does love his big games, so he's also a handy player to bring on for stuff like that. What else? Yeah, back four, as I say, Holding's been stunning. Panzo, he's also a left back. He plays in both positions. He's been solid. Lacaviti is still hanging around and been getting games, as has Kyle Hawkins. He's been very, very good. He nearly left, and I thought he was going to leave, but fortunately he decided not to accept the contract at wherever it was. I can't remember now. So he's still with us, which is brilliant. So yeah, we're pretty solid at the back. I mean, Hawkins actually has been around for quite a while, as far as his club's concerned. Yeah, I mean, we bought him in League One, and he was in League One. He played for us pretty much every game in the Championship, and he's played solidly for us in the Premiership too. Again, not quite breaking that 7.0, but certainly solidly enough for a guy who was, playing in the League One and, League Two, in fact, before we brought him in. So, yeah, quite happy about that. Not a lot else to say, really, other than this is the team. We do have the striker issues, as I mentioned before. Remy Moreau, we brought in, 19-year-old wonder kid. Just hasn't quite hit all, isn't quite firing on all cylinders, I guess. He is still young, and maybe that's the problem, but we're bringing him a bit more into the rotation and involving him. And Van Louis, of course, who also has had not the most amazing start to the season. 6 starts with only 1 goal and a 6.65 average rate, and is quite unhappy that Remy Moreau's here because he believes he's been signed to replace him, and of course he hasn't. The whole idea is that those two take turns up front, but given that neither is performing and Louis almost looks worse than he was, I think I might try and put him out on loan, is getting upset about it. So it's one of those things, and as it turns out, our top striker, or most reliable striker, of course, is Florin Anden, who was in one of those knee-jerk reaction purchases because I needed an experienced striker, and he was our top scorer last season on 16 goals? Yeah. And again, he's the most consistent in terms of his performance, not necessarily in terms of his goal scoring as well up front for us. So, I'm trying to give Moreau more games. I'm trying to give him, what he needs in order to perform. But honestly, it's been a tough one. Like I say, I think I've got to realistically look at the budget next season and spend big on 1 or 2 players, probably just 1, because we still don't have that huge a budget. Do you know what I mean? We don't have Man United money or Chelsea money or anything like that, but we do okay. We do okay for a little northern team. Nobody else to really talk about that stands out beyond that. Obviously, you remember Evangelista. He's been here since we got to the Prem, or was he with us in the Championship? Yeah, he's been with us a couple of seasons. He's solid. One of my favourite players. Plays better as a central midfielder, but he has been playing in the defensive midfielder position as well, fairly successfully, as you can tell by his average rating. The other one, actually, of interest I should mention, of course, is George Evans. As you know, I bought him when we first went up, and I've had him in other iterations of the game, and he's been solid. And to be honest with you, he's still solid. He's still solid. I mean, he's not, in terms of his quality and ability, when you actually compare him to the rest of the squad, he's obviously not up to it, but he still plays all right. I mean, 6.72 average rating from 4 appearances, 2 as a sub, isn't amazing. But I don't know. I don't feel like that tells me the story that I see when I'm watching him play. It's one of those. But his contract's up at the end of the season, and he's not staying. I keep flip-flopping and saying, well, maybe I could keep him for it. No, he's going, because he needs first-team football. And I think there are teams that could benefit from him better than us. But at the moment, he is regularly performing a job, so that is absolutely fantastic. One thing I just wanted to share with you quickly before the game. According to FC Update NL, SC Heerenveen, they're actually the favourites for this match, which, considering that we slammed... considering, number one, that they're bottom of their group, or our group, should I say. They're fourth in the Eredivisie, which is interesting. Anyway, considering where they are and the fact that we beat them 6-1 in the last meeting, albeit Oldham were at home, I'm kind of surprised that they're favourites. Part of that might be their form in the league. Our form is very slightly better in as far as we drew one of the last 5 and they lost one of the last 5. But, yeah. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I was just a little surprised that we're not favourites. Okay, it is time for Oldham away at SC Heerenveen. In goal, it is Henderson, a back four of Mings, Howkins, Holding and Brook. Central defensive midfield, Evangelista and Ndorum. Left wing, Andon. Attacking central midfield, Shashua. Right wing, Tutino. And up front, it's Moreau. I've had a little bit of a play around. I did want to play Andon up front, but we've... Problem Marlambi's absolutely knackered, and we don't have a lot of quality depth outright that's not injured at the moment, because, of course, Castrovilli would be the man to replace him if he wasn't already injured himself. He's actually quite injured at the moment, in fact. Can I go back from here? I never can. I always do that, and I never can. But anyway, nevertheless, Tutino is playing out on the right today, and Andon, who can play attacking midfielder left, is playing in there. It's not his favourite position, but he has played all right. So we'll see how he gets on. Moreau, of course, up front, and Shashua, we already talked about. It's a very young front two, supported by 2 guys who've been with us, you know, who have more experience, shall we say. So anyway, keen to see how we get on. I fancy our chances. Like I say, we won 6-1 in the previous game, so I know they'll... Oh yeah, we'll be in the first knockout round if we get a win. There you go. I'm expecting you to deliver. How's that? Well, Ndorum's nervous. There you go. That's better. He's motivated. Remy, I'm going to tell you I expect a performance, because I think we kind of need it from you, to be honest with you. And everybody else... Well, I think that's your lot. Alright, off to the tunnel interview. How much of a boost is Ridgiciano Hap's absence from your chances? Well, I have no idea. I don't know who he is. I know nothing about this young man, and I don't even know if he played against us last time. So, yeah, I'm going to focus on what we can do. And here we go. Oldham are in the away kit. The Tangerine with the black shorts and the white socks. And Heerenveen are in the white and blue striped top. Oh, nearly forgot. With the black shorts. And that's an Oldham kickoff. Shashua's on his way forward to Tino. Oh, gives it away to Berger. Heerenveen on the counter-attack. Jong puts the ball forward. Cut out by Howkins. Don't spend too much time passing it around short, would you, please? Goal kick from Henderson. Moreau nearly picked it up. Shashua's on the loose ball. That's part of the reason that an attacking midfielder has been really helpful in this. This happens a lot. Oh, tacking on the Andon. Looking to find space as it go. It's pinballed around. Evangelista picks up the loose ball. Come on, boys. It's not bad effort. Where you going, mate? Oh, I see. Trying to force a free kick. It's a bit far from their goal to be doing that, but never mind. Howkins. Domings. Shashua. Like I say, Shashua's done surprisingly well considering his age and experience and ability levels, but like I say, we're bringing in another young player to hopefully put a bit more. There we go. Wikan Sono trying to get the cross in, and he was tripped by Mings. We're on balance. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put us on positive. Oh, free kick. Holding clears it. Shot from outside the area. No, they're holding on to it. Berger. Jong. Santos. Santos with the ball through. Mings clears it. Andon now looking to start a counter-attack. Tutino on a run. He's got support. Moreau Cuts wide. Evangelista. Mings tries a cross and it's cleared out of the box. That was interesting. It's good effort. I think I'm going to go on to key highlights now. Oops. Mwene coming forward. For Heerenveen. Berger in the middle. Young. Timmermans. Wikasono. Oh, they got a cross in. No, it's not to be. I'm just going to get creative, boys. Let's go key highlights. Oh, not only commentary, you idiot. Key highlights. I did try to get creative. Well, I did had no effect. Oh, we've had 3 shots on, 2 on target. Come on, Oldham. Get creative. There we go. Be inspired. 8 shots, 4 on target to their 2 and 1. Come on, boys. We're dominating here. Let's get a goal in. Looks like we're strong on the right wing with Tutino. Which isn't too surprising. He is a good player. I think he is worth more than the stars he gets, if you know what I mean. Oh, free kick. Wikasono. Oh, to Jeong. Evangelista clears it. Lovely clearance. Show some passion, will you? Come on. Oh, it's half-time. There will be no passion to be shown prior to half-time. But look, Remy Moreau's having a terrible time. What a surprise. Well, according to Jensen, your efforts are excellent. I say we're going to be favourites if we get us a goal. And it's all well and good you being motivated, mate, but you're not staying on. My assistant has nothing of any value to add. All right, tactics-wise, who we got? Everybody's doing mostly all right. And Durham's not having the best of days, I guess. Who can we bring on? Should we bring on? Let's bring on Harper. Raheem Harper. Now, does he play better as a DLP? No, he doesn't. He's just fine where he is. So we'll leave him doing that. That's good. Tutino's all right. Andon's not. But I kind of don't have another striker on the bench. So I feel that we need to bring on Marlambi. Put him in Tutino's spot and put Tutino in Florin Andon's spot and let Andon play up front. And hopefully he will pick his game up for that. Because that's a bit more natural for him. Alright, well, I'm not going to make any other substitutions at this point. We will start the second half, and it is a Heerenveen kickoff. Alright, let's get creative again. We've got the right people playing in the right spots. Let's see if Andon picks his game up. I hope so. He's capable of it. He is a solid player, but he might not have... he's got a tight hamstring, sorry. Well, I can't sub you, mate. I ain't got anybody to play. Oh, Tutino. Evangelista with the free kick. Tutino. Oh my God. It gets a header on it. He even got the rebound, but it just wasn't going in. He hit the post in the last game, funnily enough. Poor old Tutino. He's injured too, and I still got nobody to bring on for him. Andon has not improved his game. That's disappointing. I wonder if I can get Florin Andon to show some passion. We're defending well, that's good. We haven't conceded any goals, but it's coming at 90 minutes. Klitsch, sorry. Guana. Nuramete, Mwene. They're passing it around. Oh, bugger. It's his first goal of the season too. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Yeah, 89th minute. Love it. Wasn't a bad goal, though. Mwene there. Find somebody in the middle who was completely unmarked. And there he goes. Puts it in the net. Not a lot Henderson could do. I guess bad defending is really the only excuse we have here. I don't think there's any point in going attacking. Let's go very attacking. You never know. Mings on the ball. You've got 30 seconds, mate. Come on, Henderson. Howkins. Don't stand around. Mings. Evangelista. Let's get it forward. Come on, Shishua. Tutino. I know you're injured, but you're doing all right. Shishua. Evangelista. Come on, get it forward. We're running out of seconds. We've only got 10 left. Mings. Tutino. Shishua. Somebody. Anybody. Mings. You... Oh. That's it. Game over, mate. SC Heerenveen 1. Oldham 0. We were the better team, but we couldn't make those shots on target count. I have to say, Stefan Dafovsky, he did all right, didn't he? Yeah, you had a good game, didn't you, mate? Good for you. Well, yeah, disappointed that Andon couldn't pick up his game. Disappointed that Totino is potentially injured. And disappointed at losing 1-0. Nevertheless, I don't want to say that they're... Go on. We were the underdogs. You gave it up your best. Good effort. I'm trying to keep the morale up because, again, morale with Oldham is a big deal, especially in real life. They have no morale at the moment. But yeah, it is a big deal. If you keep morale up, Oldham will do well, even with slightly lower end players. And that's not to suggest my team is lower end, just purely on the way to where we are now. We've gotten away with things a little bit. And again, if your morale's good, it makes all the difference. Well, that, as they say, is your lot. So we'll finish up with a quick review. As you know, we lost against SC Heerenveen. In terms of the group and the results and all the rest of it, Leipzig hammered the heck out of CSKA Moscow quite convincingly. So they're on joint 9 points with us. The thing is, first and second place are definitely automatic, going through to the next round spots. And whilst we are not confirmed as definitely going through to the next round, between us and Leipzig, we're doing really well on points to the point where I don't think Heerenveen or Moscow could actually catch us. It's certainly not very likely. I'm surprised Moscow's doing so badly, to be fair. It's obviously not an existing active league. But, I mean, they won the league in 2021. They were runners-up last season, but they've got hammered like heck. So, not really sure about that one, but nevertheless, we are still top. I am still confident of going through to the next round top. In terms of the schedule, the next game in the Eurocup will be against Moscow. I expect to hammer them. I really, really do. But Leipzig, I think that'll be a tough one. But to be honest with you, if we beat Moscow and Leipzig have got Heerenveen, and if Heerenveen get a point against them or something like that, that group is ours. That group is definitely ours. So that's exciting and fun. As far as the league's concerned, we've got our first sort of major challenge other than Liverpool coming up in the league, which is Man City. We are at home. Don't fancy our chances, to be fair. We'll see how that goes. And then, obviously, we're back into Europe. We've got a lot of games coming through, so I'm glad to have a slightly deeper squad this season. But as you can see, September through to now, I'm very happy with the form. And, that's 4 losses. 3 in the league, 1 in the cup. That's pretty solid. So I'd like to try and maintain that level if I can. Anyway, if you enjoyed that, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.